Welcome to the Mint Report, our wrap-up of the day's business news. Here are the top stories. RBI hikes policy rates by 50 basis points. Delhi High Court slaps contempt of court notices against 9 Air India pilots. And markets plunge on news of the rate hikes. Slash inflation even if growth slows down. That seems to be the message from the Reserve Bank's first policy review this fiscal. Taking a hawkish stance, RBI increased its key policy rates by a full 50 basis points. The repo, which is the rate at which it lends to banks, is now at 7.25%, and the reverse repo, the rate at which it absorbs excess cash, is at 6.25%. The Reserve Bank hiked its rates 8 times in the last fiscal. Its latest hike is likely to increase interest rates for home and auto loans. Talking about the rate hikes, RBI Governor D. Subba Rao said the repo would now be the main policy rate. From now, the reverse repo will always be kept 100 basis points below the repo. Subba Rao also reset the Reserve Bank's targets for India's economy. Projected inflation for the fiscal ending in March 2012 is now 6% with an upward bias, and the economy is expected to grow a mere 8% during the period. And in another significant move, RBI has jacked up the savings account deposit rate for the first time in 19 years. It's also up 50 basis points to 4%. The increase is likely to be popular with bank customers because their savings rates will go up. But banks could see their margins come under pressure. But the Reserve Bank wasn't done. It also accepted a key recommendation of the Malegaon Committee on Microfinance. The maximum interest rate microlenders can charge is now 26%. And they can only lend to people who earn 60,000 rupees or less a year. And in other news, it's now all up to the striking Air India pilots. On Tuesday, the Delhi High Court served contempt of court notice to 9 of the pilots. That's because they didn't heed an earlier restraining order that told them to end their strike. The 9 men in question lead a group of some 800 Air India pilots who have been on strike for a week. Of course, the bears turned out in force on Tuesday after the Reserve Bank's bigger-than-expected rate hikes. The Sensex plunged 463 points to 18,535 and the Nifty lost 136 to finish at 5,565. Not surprisingly, banks took a beating. State Bank of India plunged 4% on the BSE to 2,583 and HDFC Bank lost 2.4% by the end of trade. ICICI Bank tumbled 2.76% to 1,068. Shares of automakers also went into reverse gear because of fears loans would get more expensive. Tata Motors plunged 5.3% to 1,163 and Mahindra & Mahindra went down 4.5%. Maruti Suzuki fared somewhat better, losing just 1.35% to 1,273.80. And that's all we have for you. Thanks for watching.